Hello and welcome back to my channel. So it is September, and so what does that mean? We got September, October, November, December, and the year is over. I have been married for 19 years to my beloved husband Ben. He works outside of the home. I stay home and homeschool and look after and keep alive my children. My children they're not 10 years old. I have 10 children and I am well over halfway pregnant with the next edition, baby number 11. And I was thinking, I want to finish the year well. I want to actually write things down and have a really good think about what I want to achieve before the end of the year, or like things I have to do and why I have to do them. And I thought maybe this would be also a good video to motivate others, even to start thinking about it. The noises you will hear above should be, hopefully, my children folding washing. Yes. I want to do more reading, and I want to make this like a lifelong thing. So this is where my very long ramble about the books I have and what I plan on doing, it can go in this part of the video. I thought that I would show you some books that I bought. One of my goals for September is, well, it's not just for September, it's like for my whole life. So I've basically been, how do I even articulate this? I remember a childhood of being on no social media, no computers, no nothing, right? To then growing up to a phone. We should have just stayed with the Nokias. We should have just been like Nokia phones only, occasional game of Snake. I don't even like phoning anyone, but you could phone people and you could do text messages. To full-blown use of social media. And lots of scrolling and lots of time online. I have totally, completely lost interest in Facebook. It's like somehow it was like removed from me or from my mind. Like I don't even think about it. And it was probably because my older children always said Facebook's for boomers and I don't want to be a boomer. So that sort of made me go, and I just want to read some more and just, be myself. So I thought I could do like a book haul. I bought almost all the books from op shops. And all of the books I think will either end up being books that I keep like in my collection or that I can pass on to other people. So I don't feel bad about it. So I bought Elizabeth Elliot book, Be Still My Soul. I bought it from Kurong brand new for $20. Then I started thinking I should be looking at op shops for Christian books or like not self-help, definitely not Joel Osteen. Do you know when I find books like prosperity teaching and like Joel Osteen and stuff at op shops, I put them back in the bookcase with this part facing out so people won't buy them. So I got that book, and then it got me thinking maybe I should start looking at op shops to see if I could find more Elizabeth Elliot books or other books that might be interesting. And I feel like I have found some books that will at least be thought-provoking and that even my teenagers might enjoy reading. I bought From God to You, 66 Love Letters, a conversation with God that invites you into his story by Dr. Larry Crabb. Original price tag on it, $17.95. I got it for $1. So I am telling you, op shops are where it's at. This book here made me laugh so hard because I can very much relate to it. And please comment below if you can also relate to it. So it's by John Ortberg. I think I've heard his name before, but I don't really know who the guy is. Originally from Word Bookstore for $15. I paid $1. The book is titled Everybody's Normal Till You Get to Know Them. So true. So I'll read the back to you. I just found it quite interesting, and I told my oldest child, I was like, Ethan, this is up our alley big time. So the back says, normal? Who's normal? Not you, that's for sure. No one you've ever met either. None of us are normal according to God's definition, and the closer we get to each other, the plainer that is. Yet for all our quirks, sins, and jagged edges, we need each other. Community is more than just a word. It is one of our most fundamental requirements. So how do flawed, abnormal people such as ourselves master the forces that can drive us apart and come together in the life-changing relationships God designed for us? In Everybody's Normal Till You Get to Know Them, teacher and best-selling author John Ortberg zooms in on the things that make community tick. You'll get a thought-provoking look at God's heart, at others, and at yourself. Even better, you'll gain wisdom and tools for drawing closer to others in powerful, impactful ways, with humor, insight, and a gift for storytelling. Ortberg shows how community pays tremendous dividends in happiness, health, support, and growth. It's where all of us weird, unwieldy people encounter God's love in tangible ways and discover the transforming power of being loved, accepted, and valued just the way we are. Can you relate? Can you relate to being involved in churches or with Christian organizations or groups of people where you're sitting there going, these people are so weird. Why do they behave this way? Why do they fight with each other? Why do they argue about paint colors and certain things? And or am I weird? I'm too weird for this, and I need to withdraw and hide away. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I will try to convince my son to read it as well. And if any of these books I'm actually showing you, you're like, oh, that's interesting, try to keep me accountable and say, how are you going with reading all your thousands of books? Come Before Winter and Share My Hope by Charles R. Swindoll. This is the young man. This is Charles. This book to me is thick, right? Remember, I'm going from scrolling on my phone and spending too much time online to getting back into reading, and it looks like I can kind of, read a section at a time, think about it, reflect on it, and yes, so I got that one, $1. This book I was immediately excited about because these are very popular from Kurong, $30, and I paid $1. The unfortunate thing is I didn't realize that this is a video-based 7-session Bible study. And I don't have the video. I bought it for $1 and then I'm like, the video is probably going to be $60,000. Smith Wigglesworth, The Secret of His Power. And it's just got 3 sections. The man, the spirit, life in the spirit. So I what appealed to me, honestly, was it's thin. $1, The Sacred Romance, Drawing Closer to the Heart of God, Curtis and Eldridge. Ever Increasing Faith, Smith Wigglesworth again. This one was like 50 cents. Like a quick read, hopefully, if I ever read it. I got Captivating by John and Stacey Eldridge. This was actually recommended to me. It's originally $28. I paid $1. Unveiling the Mystery of a Woman's Soul. I don't know. The jury is definitely out on this one. This is where I reveal to you my new book club, which only consists of me and one of my children. But I found $1 each, 2 copies of Through the Gates of Splendor by Elizabeth Elliot. And on the front, I was like, how ironic, because I bought the Chuck Swindoll book, and on the front of this book it says, God used this book to change my life. So God may use this book to change my life. This is basically Elizabeth Elliot writing about going to Honduras, losing her husband, and I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know. If it's Elizabeth Elliot, I'm pretty much sold, but I will be reading this with one of my children, and I don't know if she'll want to do a video with me, but I just think it'll be like a good exercise. She was saying to me how when her brother expressed interest in reading the Harry Potter books, which she has read, she was excited because she's like, oh, I'll have another person to talk about the book with. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to be like that as well. I spend most of my days at home with my children. I read to my children a lot, and I talk to my children a lot about many different things. But I just felt that I wasn't really like this one. This one really spoke to me. Be Still My Soul. I just feel like you can get so busy doing all the things, but then you turn around and you're like, I'm not really achieving anything. And we do, like us mothers, generally, because I think most of my audience is female, we do a lot of different things and we don't really sort of think about all the things we do. But yeah, if it sounds like my brain is a bit fried, I just finished my menu plan for the month of September. I do a menu plan for lunch, which is our main meal, and dinner, which is a light meal. And it's a lot of thinking and deciding and working things out. And it can easily expand to being some like super difficult, complicated thing where you're factoring in weather and who likes what and who will be working when. And I've just learned that I need to simplify it and just pick the meals and put the meals on the list and do the meals. Yeah. You know, I've had daydreams about doing videos that are only 5 minutes long. Yeah, maybe one day I'll have less to say. I will be passing one of these along to my daughter. We will read. I'm not sure about getting like every single month. Like this is what we discussed last night. We're like, it's more the act of reading daily. My advice to you, if you used to be like, I used to read all the time for pleasure, like for myself, and I got out of the habit of doing it. I think what helps is setting a reminder, like it's time to read. You be gentle with yourself and say, I'm gonna read for 10 minutes. You can read longer than that. You can read as long as you want. But I think, you know, like anything, that if you're revisiting an old habit or starting a new habit, start small. When you hear the words menu planning, are you full of excitement and joy or fear and dread? Unfortunately, I've become kind of full of fear and dread. Back in the day when my older children were young, I taught them how to cook. I now have the next lot of kids that I have to actually teach how to cook. And for any mothers out there that want to teach their children how to be capable and confident adults, it takes a lot of groundwork. So September is going to be very busy for me. I have actually on the MacBook sat down and strained my brain, and I have done a menu plan for lunch and dinner for all of September. I tried to not overthink it. I just put the meals down, and now that's what is going to happen. Now, we need to talk about birthdays and Christmas. Have you got in your family birthdays leading up until the end of the year? Because I know I do. With 10 children, we have birthdays in every month except June. I am also having a cesarean in December. So that means I have to be very organized, because obviously the more pregnant I get, the more useless physically I will become. And it takes a lot of brain space being pregnant, because, you know, you're growing a whole nother human and you're doing lots of things as well. And it's a lot to think about just day to day, let alone planning for the birthdays. So my basic how we do birthdays in our home is the birthday person gets to pick exactly what they want to eat for the whole day. So whatever they want. I know that my birthday person for September wants steak, gravy, and chips. On that day, when the person's birthday is, they pick all the party foods and what they want to do. They don't have to do chores. They can just enjoy their day. I really like them to try to pick an activity that we can do. So we can either go as a whole family, or the birthday person might just pick like a one-on-one thing. That becomes like sort of part of their birthday, because we don't want to fill the house with unnecessary clutter and junk. That's one way of kind of having at least part of their birthday like an event, a thing that they want to do. I will then have a birthday to celebrate in the family, October, November, 2 in December, and Christmas, and having a new baby. Yes. So I have already started speaking to those people they're having their birthdays coming up before the end of the year. I also know that in the area that I live in, for the first half of January is normally when a lot of stores close down. They have their summer holidays, and I have a child that has a birthday in mid-January. So traditionally, I have everything, when I'm organized, I have everything kind of done. Now, some people are into having overabundance of everything. I tell people the only thing that I have a ton of is kids, and I just can't manage a ton of other things. I want to be organized. I want to have presents purchased. I want to know what my children want, and I want to buy for my children what they want. So they'll get one main gift of something that they actually want and that they ask for. I'm not going to go aimlessly wandering through Big W and Kmart and Target trying to channel secret messages for what my children want. Generally, boys do not want clothing. Of course, there's exceptions to the rule, but I just don't think it's fair if my child asks for something when ordinarily throughout the year I don't buy them stuff, for me to then say, no, I'll buy you clothes. It's more practical. So yeah, I got a few birthday people that have to think about what they want to ask for, and then I have to make my list, and I'm going to start looking for sales, looking on different online resources to find the best price, because I have a budget for how much I want to spend. So September, October, November, 2 birthdays in December, 1 in January, me having a baby. I want to be completely ready to go and organized all the way until the January birthday by the beginning of December. And it's just going to require me to be diligent and plan. So already, the beginning of September, I'm having conversations with people. I have a book where I write down different birthday present ideas and different things. I have a box in my closet where I keep different things that I collect throughout the year for birthdays or Christmas or whatever. And it's just keeping track of everything. I don't stash lots of different things everywhere because I'll just forget it. It'll be like, oh yeah, I remember now that I bought that thing. So that's the plan. Plan is for a very simple, quiet, low-key Christmas. We do, I don't even know what it's called. It's like Advent. So like the names of Jesus. We do things leading right up until Christmas Day as well. We have family traditions, places we go to, things that we bake and make and do, movies that we watch. We really every year have a fairly simple but very enjoyable Christmas. I am told even by my 18 and 17-year-olds that they like it. So yeah, it's just planning and executing everything and still looking after myself and remembering that I'm going to have a cesarean. I need to be careful with my lovely body leading up until then. I would like to continue to work on some unfinished projects that I have, such as some quilts. I have finished one quilt, which I'm very proud of. So that's sort of the motivation that you need. If you have projects or gifts or things that you want to make, it's time to try to like get cracking and get into it. It's just easing my way into the end of the year, finishing strong, actually deliberately sitting down and doing the things that I say I want to do, because I have many children and I'm busy and I have other things that are happening as well, and my children have other things that they do. I have to be organized. Can I do it? Can I finish quilts and read books and organize and declutter and maybe find a new place to live and do my school plan and still do everything else? Doing all the things, getting enough sleep, making sure that I have a shower every day. It's a lot of stuff, but I think one good starting point, because I'll just let you go in a second, is writing down a plan. Even just brain dumping, like what are the things we have coming up? We just make a plan, simplified plan. I highly recommend menu planning. I highly recommend it because yes, there's half an hour of like, oh my goodness, I can't even be bothered to eat food ever again, and why do we even care, and it doesn't matter and don't worry about it. Stress with menu planning. I feel that if I just make it a new habit, and now that I have a document typed up, if it worked for September, maybe I'll just repeat it in whatever month comes after September. October? July, August, September, October. Finishing the year well means doing it. So I'm kind of like relieved now, because I had started thinking about it a few weeks ago and I was like, oh, I should have done it in July, and other people are so much more organized than me and I don't know if I can do it. But now that I've written down the different things, it's basically like filling in the gaps. So yes. Yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. I don't know if this resonates with other people, or if you're just like, get over it, lady. Like, I've bought presents until the year 2030, and like continuing to just be simple, chilled, no stress means that I have to just plan well. Feel free to chat with each other in the comments below. I know that sometimes, YouTube videos can be very valuable for information where you're actually seeing another person carrying out the things that they plan to do or want to do or are doing. But sometimes in the comments below, people will write, like, oh, I do this and it's super easy, or I found this website for menu planning and I love it and it's so great, or I take the month of June every year to do all of my homeschool planning, or I buy all my curriculum in bulk and they plan it for me. So feel free to chat in the comments below. Don't be shy, all right? I am not shy and kind of shy, so I understand both sides of it. I will let you go. I hope wherever you are that you are well and you are happy. If you're starting your school year, because you're on the other side of the world to me, well done. That's it. Well done. I will see you again soon in another video. Goodbye.